Hey all, welcome to the Body, Mind, Soul podcast series. I'm hoping to learn with you along this journey that we are embarking on. Well, what's the best way to start the series other than diving straight right into the control center of the body, mind, and soul? The brain. Well, today I wanted to start with the little brain, which is also called the cerebellum. So, the cerebellum it is important for integrated motor functions. And these include balance, posture, and equilibrium. Let's see the cerebellum's anatomy. So the cerebellum is made up of a cortex with gray matter composed of nerve cell bodies and an inner layer with white matter composed of nerve fibers. It is at the rear and the lowest part of the brain. It is made up of a fine and organized pattern of grooves, which are also called sulci, and ridges, which are also called gyri. These, of course, offer increased surface area. We will dive deep into a later podcast episode about sulci and gyri. So, why does the body need the cerebellum? So first, we need it for the coordination of movement. The cerebellum receives information from sensory systems like the spinal cord and other parts of the brain to coordinate voluntary movements such as posture, balance, coordination, and speech. It helps in refining the timing and accuracy of movements. Next, we need it for balance and posture. So the cerebellum integrates sensory inputs from the inner ear, eyes, and muscles to maintain balance and posture. Damage to the cerebellum can lead to problems with balance and coordination. Motor learning. The cerebellum is involved in motor learning, allowing us to acquire and refine motor skills through practice and repetition. This is evident in activities like learning to ride a bike or learning to play a musical instrument, or even learning to bake a cake. Some cognitive functions. So research suggests that the cerebellum may also play a role in certain cognitive functions, such as attention, language, and emotional regulation. While its primary function is motor control, it's increasingly recognized for its involvement in higher cognitive processes. And finally, its adaptation to changing conditions. The cerebellum helps us adapt to changing environmental conditions by adjusting movements and responses accordingly. It contributes to the smooth execution of movements even in unpredictable situations. Let's see some of the clinical conditions related to cerebellar issues. So the clinical conditions are due to damage of any internal or external layer of the cerebellum or any kind of cerebellar malfunction or dysfunction. So the diseases or dysfunctions are including, but not limited to, multiple sclerosis, which is an inflammation in the brain or in the cerebellum. And then we have Chiari malformation. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but it is called genetic, which means it came with birth. And then we have stroke, which I'm pretty sure we all know what a stroke is, and Wilson's disease. Wilson's disease is the harmful copper buildup in the cerebellum. Well, how can you nurture and nourish your cerebellum's functions? You can. There are three main points, but I'm pretty sure there are many more. You can start with mental activities. These are complex activities which can create new nerve connections in the cerebellum and the brain. So this includes playing board games like chess and doing a crossword puzzle or reading a book. The second point, sleep. Sleep helps clear abnormal proteins from the cerebellum and the brain, and it helps establish memories. Finally, a balanced diet. A balanced diet includes all the vitamins, nutrients, and minerals you need to keep your cerebellum in good shape. Let's see some nutrients you should be eating and focusing on. Let's start with omega-3 fatty acids. This prevents inflammation. In a way, if you consume omega-3 fatty acids, you're preventing multiple sclerosis, since omega-3 fatty acids prevent inflammation. And then vitamin B helps prevent dementia. Vitamin E protects the cerebellum from oxidative damage, which is usually caused by exposure to a heat shock. We'll talk more about oxidative damage in a later video. And then zinc is very important during the development of motor skills, as it accompanies and helps grow the cerebellum. Then iron is a mineral required for the proper myelination of white matter in the cerebellum. Myelination is the process of creating myelin to speed up nervous signal transfer. In a way, if you don't have myelin and you don't have myelination, we wouldn't be the complex organisms we are now, since myelination and myelin speeds up those nervous signal transfer. And without that speedy nervous signal transfer, we would be very, very, very slow, and we would not be able to protect ourselves from dangers. And then magnesium. Magnesium is an important mineral required in the cerebellum for memory. Let's see some food which makes your cerebellum to lead a good life. So you have fish. Fish contains omega-3 fatty acids, which is pretty important. So if you eat fish, you prevent multiple sclerosis in a way. Then you have dark chocolate. I'm pretty sure you've heard about dark chocolate and how it's good for your brain. And then you have berries and nuts. And surprisingly, I didn't know this, but coffee is good for your cerebellum. Before I found out that coffee is good for your cerebellum, I thought coffee's bad and a kind of poison. And then you have eggs, avocados, soy products, and kale. Overall, the cerebellum is an essential part of your body and brain, as it carries out some of our most important and useful tasks we accomplish every day. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you come back next time to listen. Please do. And make sure not to forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.